Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Venator Trading. 10K to $2 million funding challenge officially sponsored by Bespoke Funding Program. Trade up to $4 million in capital, no time limits, and a bunch of other amazing features that they offer prop firm traders. So, welcome in. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It is Monday, July 31st, 7 a.m. New York time. Good morning to everyone here stateside. Good afternoon to everyone on the other side of the pond. And good evening to everyone on the other side of the world. Welcome in, y'all. Glad you're here. Hope you had a great weekend. It's good to be back. I am ready to kiss July's butt goodbye, man. I'm ready for July to get the heck out of here. And I'm just happy. It's always a good day when we're back at the charts. Always a good day when we're back at the charts. So ready to get it. Ready to get it. Worked up a new overlay. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about the overlay. It's not like crazy fancy, but it's better than what we had. And yeah, I mean it's a thing. Got the banners up there, got the border. We moved the stats around a little bit, kind of cleaned them up. I think it cleans everything up a little bit, gives it a little bit of extra, pop, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. I see Candle Slayer. Good morning, Over Playful. Adrian Shafa. Hey Shafa, haven't seen you in a little bit. How you doing? How'd that 10K challenge go? Daz, hello. Ubuntu, Kenneth, good morning, everyone. New week, new opportunities. Let's go. Let's get it. Michael D, how's your challenge? New layouts looking good. Thanks, Michael. Cisco, hey, all. New chat pair vote today. Getting rid of gold. I'm kind of excited about that, too. So we'll see what the chat has to bring to the table. And by the way, Venator, that motivational video you posted, absolutely amazing video. I've already watched it 3 times. Thank you for taking the time to create it. It's a funny story about that video. I had no plans to make another video. But what I realized is, so, we've been trying to get monetized here on YouTube channel. And the first step to the lower required monetization, which would allow you to do like a merch store and super chat and something else. I can't remember what it was. It was basically everything except ad revenue. Well, you had to have 3,000 watch hours and 500 subscribers. That's what I had always been working off of. Well, we have over 700 subs right now, and we have 3,300 watch hours as of yesterday. I haven't looked today. But, and so I was like, why? But every time I would go to the earn page to, apply to become a YouTube partner, the YouTube partner program, it would never give me the feature. It says I'm still missing stuff. And so I finally figured out you have to have 3 public video uploads in the last 90 days. And at first I thought, no problem. I've already done that. I've put up 2 long form videos. I've probably got, 15 or 20 YouTube shorts up there. But the YouTube shorts don't count towards a public upload. It has to be long form content. So yesterday, when I finally figured it out, like late Saturday night, so yesterday I was like, okay, I got to make a video today. I got to get it up. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then I realized, well, most people keep asking me to just keep put up, like on Twitter, the motivational content, the trading psychology, the kind of trader inspiration type tweets that I put out, a lot of people are like, "Hey, don't stop doing those. I love those." So I was like, you know what might be good is a mindset, like a pre-session mindset, something that you could listen to every day to just kind of get your head in the right space, kind of refocus before you open the charts, recommit to what's about to happen and how you're going to act. And so I was like, okay, cool. Well, that could be kind of cool. So I literally did that. I wrote the script, recorded the VO, grabbed some B-roll, some like non-royalty, like stock footage B-roll that's free to use, dropped it in there, edited it together, found a soundtrack, put it, I mean, literally it was about a 1 hour deal from start to finish, and then got it up there. And that's really the reason I did it. But my true hope is that it actually is helpful, that you can listen to it before the session starts, just kind of get in the right headspace, fire you up a little bit, but more importantly, just remind you to stick to your rules and anticipate what's about to happen, so you can kind of decide ahead of time exactly how you're going to act when you open the chart. So I hope you like it. But thank you for that comment, Kenneth. Biolamansky, good afternoon from Nigeria. Good to see y'all. Shafa, long time to see. I've been traveling back to the place where I live in, so no grandpa and grandma help anymore as a result, not having much time to enjoy the streams. Doing well, Shafa, and I'm glad you're in here. Anytime you can pop in, you're welcome. So I'm glad to see you. See you, Dev. Got in early today. Nice to see it. Do not ask me, please, on that challenge. I only had losing trades, not even one winner. It's okay. It's okay. July has been pretty brutal for me, too. Every trade except one was a break even and 3 were losers. So I also am ready for July to get out of here. No guarantee August is going to be any better, but we know how to get out of those losing streaks. Just stick to the plan. What's up, Red Ezekiel? Shafa, but I got funded with another firm, and again, losing streak back-to-back. Now I'm in drawdown. No challenge going on. It's going well. Not giving up. Don't give up. Just stick to it. Hang in there. Drawdown happens. There's nothing to get upset about when you get into drawdown. It's fine. Hey, Muhammad. Good morning. Easy SMC. Another day of trading. Let's go, Venators. Trading night. Biolamansky. Love that pre-session motivation. The voice sounds just like you, regardless of voice changer. I was like, this is Venator. Does it sound different than me? There's a voice changer on it. Maybe you're talking about like just EQ or something. I don't know. I didn't really do much to it. But if it doesn't sound like me, I don't know what to do about that, because that's just my voice. I wanted to suggest something, if you don't mind. I saw your mindset video, but showing your face from the stream and adding a motivational music while you're talking would change the vibe drastically. Yeah, maybe. It's not a bad idea. We can do another one. We'll let that one run for a little while, and then maybe put up a little series of different pre-session mindset motivation video playlist or something. Might be kind of cool. Hey, Alpha Bridge, good morning. Beeswax, welcome in. Stone, welcome in. George Tucker, afternoon. Glad you guys are here. Go ahead and click that like button. Get that out of the way. I would appreciate it. We're back for another stream. Mondays, typically not super long streams on Mondays. Mondays, we're just kind of getting our feel for the market. We're watching and waiting and seeing what the market setup is going to look like for the rest of the week. We're coming. This is the last day of the month, so could be some tomfoolery going on. People positioning themselves to getting into August, getting out of positions from swing trading all of July. It's just it's the end of the month. It is what it is. So, and I'm glad it's going to be over with. Shaffa says when ICT mentioned that summer is the worst time to trade, damn, he's right. He's pretty accurate. Summer can be tricky. Spring and fall are definitely my most profitable months. So the summer can be tough. My last summer, I didn't have a red month, but I'm gonna have a red month for July. But it's really not a huge deal. It's not something to get crazy upset about. This is just what professional trading looks like. You're not going to have winning streak after winning streak after winning streak. It's just not going to happen. You're going to take losses. You're going to take multiple losses in a row. It's just the way the system works. So you start doubting everything. You start trying to think, oh, well, suddenly, just now, my strategy, it's not going to work anymore. I need to go find a new strategy. That's the wrong answer. Schaff says, I even questioned my ability. See? But then I just accepted no matter what the risk management is and how good you are, markets are just being the markets. And that is accurate. The markets will just do whatever they're going to do. And you cannot try to force your way on the markets. It's not going to happen. The markets are not going to bend to your will. Hey, Deadpool, good morning. Cisco, by the way, how come the 100K challenge account has lost a little more percent than the others? Is it slippage from the trade copy or from your broker due to larger lot sizes? It is, I think it's just trade copier latency. So by the time the trades copy from the master account down into the slave accounts, by the time, so it has to, the master account has to get executed. Then it sends a signal to social trader. It has to trigger both of those, and then those have to go to the servers. So in those milliseconds, half a second, whatever it is, 1 second, any latency that comes in, there's going to be a small change in when those orders get executed. So it's not slippage. It's slippage in the fact that it's latency from the trade copier. It's not from the, it's not on the server side. It's not lot size. Not on a 100K. Now on one thing I'm going to have to be aware of is when we get up into the larger account sizes, we may experience some of that. And I'm thinking about not buying anything over but a 100K account to help avoid some of that slippage. But I don't know if that's, I don't know, maybe a 200K. I might have to experiment and see what the slippage is when we get into those higher accounts, because it may be better just to have a bunch of 100K accounts where you don't get massive slippage because your lot sizes are fairly normal. But we'll see. Trading Night says, I have a question, please, about Bespoke scaling plan. If it is 40% every 4 months, the max funding would still be correct. It's still $2 million on the scaling plan, but you don't have to wait and trade consistently to get there. You can just purchase your way to $2 million. You don't have to scale up over time. You can just start with one account and consistently trade it and eventually get there. But there's very, very, very few people that can remain that consistent. Kenneth says, Venator, do you journal at all? I use Notion personally, but it seems like Swift Journal is popular all over Twitter. I don't journal anymore. The live stream is basically functioning is that I do go back and rewatch the losing trades or any trade. I'll go back and watch. But then all of the stats that I have are on my dashboards on my funded accounts. So I have more stats there than I do anywhere else. And so I just use those. There are some really good ones out there right now that I've seen: Swift, TradeZilla. You can hook up all of your funded accounts to, and it automatically tracks everything. So I may get into that again. Have everything in one central location. I keep track of all my stats personally, but I'll grab that information from my dashboards. So that's where I get that from. May I ask about your point of view about competitions? Thanks for answering. Competitions are just lottery tickets. I mean, it's just promoting a gambling mindset. It's not really doing anything to improve the trading ability of all these people wanting to get funded. Now, I think they could serve a purpose. If you have them, you can use them to scratch that itch, so to speak, when you want to go on tilt or revenge trade after taking a loss on a challenge. But I mean, they're just complete lottery tickets. I mean, you just go in, you put in the max lot size that they allow, you click buy or sell, and you hope you're right, and then you just let it run. So, I mean, they're not going to do anything to help you long term in your trading career. They're just not going to do anything to help you. They're just going to continue to foster the gambling mindset there. So, but I mean, like I said, if you just have to gamble and you have to be able to be in a trade, I mean, I guess they're great for that. They scratch that itch, so maybe that's the one good thing about them. One thing who is this? Let me get back. Muhammad. One thing I'm facing with my strategy right now is waking up early. Missed a trade by 15 minutes. Oh, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. It'll be there tomorrow, and it'll be there the next day. If you had to ride the subway to work every day and you showed up late and you missed the train that you wanted to get on, you wouldn't just start running down the tracks chasing after it. You would just sit on the bench and you would wait, because in just a minute, another train's going to show up and you can get on that one. So it's kind of the same thing. The market's always going to be moving. Your strategy's always going to be there. It's going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be there the next day. So don't get too upset if you quote unquote miss a trade. If it's a personal discipline issue that you can't get to the chart when you're supposed to, you know what you need to work on. But if you got there and you just didn't execute, it's not a big deal. There'll be more. Assumed it was from the copier. Never used one myself. Okay, good. Ancient Past Saucity. Good morning. It's afternoon on my side. Good afternoon. Simon won the challenge last week. So welcome back in, buddy. Glad you're here. Have you taken any trades? This is probably day one for your 10K challenge that you won. Have you taken any trades on that yet? Mohammed, we use limit order most of the time, even with this order wheel face slip. Yeah, anytime. There's no guarantee you're going to get your exact fill. You just put your limit order in. You might get slipped a pip or half a pip. The lot sizes we're using, especially on the 10K accounts, you shouldn't get any slips. I have very great experience with Bespoke and getting filled, not getting slippage. The spreads are fantastic. Shafa says, so now that I got funded 2 times, this time I decided to go with that firm that pays on demand. So you place a first trade and then you pay with a refund plus your first trade. Oh, cool. That's cool. First payout is on demand. That's not a bad feature. I mean, if you could get a winner on your first trade, lock it in, and then just go get it out right then, kind of nice. Kind of nice. Kenneth says the prop industry overall is in a bit of a plateau right now. Many firms have introduced very similar plan structures now that time limits are no longer on the table. It's going to be real interesting to see what they do to start creating unique selling positions. They're all going to have to come up with some kind of unique selling position. The no time limits was the big thing for a while. And so now we're going to see, what is it? Are they going to start, are other firms going to start increasing their max capital? Because a lot of them, it's like 300K, 600K. That's about the most you see. I think Lark Funding has $1 million. They offer up to $1 million on their two-step. And Bespoke has the largest. I mean, without a doubt, Bespoke offers you the largest max capital that you can buy. I think you'll see more firms offering payouts on the challenges side. So after you're funded, not only do you get your profit split, not only do you get your refund, but they'll also pay you like 15% profit on your challenge. So there's a couple firms already doing that. I think you'll see more and more firms start to do that. I think having custom built challenges where you can build out your challenge, that's going to be a nice feature that people will start introducing. So you can choose your drawdown, you can choose your profit target, you can choose your capital, you can choose balance based or static, you can choose, trailing, and all the different features that you could add in would change the pricing structure, but you could choose how you want your challenge to look before you ever get into it. So it's not just a one size fits all challenge. It's, hey, you can build your challenge, and here's the fee for that. So that could be something interesting. I think loyalty programs, you're going to start seeing loyalty programs start rolling out. So traders that purchase a certain amount of challenges or stay funded or reach a certain number of payouts, you're starting to see more of that. So they all kind of look and feel very similar. The thing is, the reason why there's always probably going to be multiple prop firms, and the reason why you see some of these owners starting more than one prop firm, is that once traders get max funded on one prop firm, they can just go to the next. It's like you never have to stop adding capital from a trader's perspective. You can just go to another firm and to another firm and to another firm. So they can just keep opening firm after firm after firm, because once they're max funded on one, they can just go to the next one, do it again, go to the next one, do it again. So it will be interesting to see how the space kind of develops over the next few months into next year. Somebody's going to come up and offer some cool new feature that will quickly become the industry standard. It always happens. People will innovate. It's the beauty of capitalism and competition. Shafa says, yesterday listened to ICT Spaces on his advice to son. It is great. Helps to navigate psychological side of things. I'll have to go listen to that. I did not see him on there and did not get a chance to listen, but I do like the Spaces more than I like his like the videos that he's putting out more recently. His Spaces tend to, now he can obviously go on his ICT rants and stuff, but he does get into just more of the advice side of things and the psychology side of things more there, which quite honestly is where most people need the most support. Good morning, Dennis Dasco. Welcome in. Kenneth, many firms working on the next big thing. What will it be? Yeah, I don't know. Up 1.5% already, Simon. Way to go, man. Way to go. Good job. Cisco, I like that analogy with the train. We'll try to keep it in mind next time that I get FOMO. Absolutely. I use that analogy a lot. I use the bus stop analogy a lot, which is similar. I also use kind of the surfing analogy. The market is the ocean, and it just moves in waves. The waves never stop coming, and so you paddle out on your surfboard. You see a nice wave coming in. You miss it. It's okay. You just sit, you turn around and you watch. Look, there's another wave coming. It's the same thing. You're not really missing anything. You just have to be patient and execute your system. There's instant funding options now, cost more obviously, but Bill interesting to see if this becomes a frequent option too. I don't really like the instant funding. It's just not a great return on investment. I mean, if you can consistently if you can be a profitable trader, it makes more sense to start with the lowest investment amount and get a huge return on that investment versus instant funding. Instant funding, prop firms are always trying to tap into the faulty psychology of traders. They talk out of both sides of their mouth. Publicly they're going to tell you, we want you to succeed. And so they have to create challenges and conditions that give you enough favorability that you realize I can do this, but it's still going to be tricky enough that you're probably going to fail. Instant funding is tapping into the psychology that says you don't have to wait. And your psychology will change and you'll do better when you know it's an instant funded account versus a challenge account where your psychology is all messed up. And so they're tapping into this mindset that, oh, well, there's traders out there that they'll pay more for an instant funded account. They're still going to blow it too, but now we've made more money off of them. So I'm not a fan of the instant funded just because of the return on investment it's not great. You got to pay a lot more. I think you have lower leverage. I think the drawdown limits, I think they're different. I'll have to go look. Every firm's different with their instant funded, but they would need to really change the instant funded model for me to want to have any interest in that. Custom challenge would be great. Needs a lot of development. Yeah, it would need quite a bit of back-end support there to build that out. The pricing structure for that. Kenneth, what's happening is a firm puts in months of work to lay the foundation for a good idea. They release it, then the other firms just copy it. Yeah, I mean, that's how competition works. You get a leg up and everyone else does what you do and tries to do it better. So you've got to find a unique way to position yourself in the market. I mean, eventually the market will just be what it's going to be. And they're going to have to, they'll start, it'll be a discount war. It was a discount war for a little while. There was a giveaway war for a little while. There was a no time limit war for a little while. Now there's really there's really nothing to shoot at another prop firm because they all are extremely, the playing field is very much leveled right now as far as what prop firms can offer. Kenneth, it's same with every industry. Everyone copies others. It's normal. It is very true. Ton of instant funding have worse trading conditions as well as make it. Yeah, it is. The instant funding sucks. I'd rather have static drawdown, do challenges, wider profit, drawdown gaps, higher margin, overall more room to make mistakes. Since like Miley, nobody's perfect. Yeah, I think traders are always going to be fighting for more space to, I think the larger drawdown is larger drawdown, smaller profit targets. That's what traders are always going to be fighting for. But prop firms have to stay in business. They got to make it easy enough that a certain percentage can pass consistently, but they have to make it hard enough that the vast majority of people don't pass because they need to make money. They need to make money. And I would be interested to see a prop firm release their revenue statistics on revenue generated from failed challenges versus revenue generated from actual trading. Because my my guess is I would be shocked if they're making more than 15% of their revenue from trading, like copying traders or onto their master accounts. I would be shocked if it's more than 15%. I'm guessing 85% or more of prop firm revenue comes from failed challenges. But who knows? I haven't seen anybody release those numbers yet. But that would be a true transparent number, is we're actually making, like, even if it was 50-50, if it was 50-50, if 50% of the revenue came from failed challenges and 50% of the revenue came from actually copying consistently profitable traders, that would make me feel like this is a very sustainable model. Like, you've found profitable traders and you're making money. This is what you said you wanted to do when you started this business. You said, we want to fund profitable traders. We want to find them, fund them, and grow together with them. If that's really what you want to do, eventually your revenue should be more weighted in favor of those profitable traders, and not just from basically luring bad traders in to give you money. That's eventually going to dry up. It's eventually going to dry up. People will eventually get tired of failing and they'll just walk away. I don't know what's the stat. 95% of people just leave after less than a year in or 2 years into their trading journey. So people will eventually just stop throwing money at this when they lose. And most people don't have what it takes to lose 30 challenges and stick with it. Most give up way before then. I saw from where you can increase drawdown to 28% by consistently getting 5 to 6% a month. Not a bad concept. I like being able to increase your maximum drawdown over time. Not a bad way to go. The one thing Bespoke has over other prop firms, their customer service is top notch. I've seen other Discords. Bespoke's is way better. Bespoke, I'm telling y'all, Bespoke is top 3 firm in the space. They don't have as many traders. They're not as popular, like, just from a popularity contest. Their Discord is growing, their Twitter is growing, everything is growing. They're doing all of the right things. They have consistent slow growth upward, but I promise you, their support is fantastic. Their trading conditions are fantastic. They're about to release a brand new dashboard. They have multiple challenges to choose from depending on what you want. They have the highest max capital. They have the auto close feature. If you hit your profit target on your challenge, it will auto close it for you. You don't have to stay up all night and monitor that thing. Trade copiers, EAs, no news restrictions. I mean, they've got it all. So Bespoke is definitely top notch. And you can use code Venator to get 15% off any challenge and an 85% profit split. So anyway, all right, it's about time. We've spent 30 minutes just catching up, getting over the weekend, seeing how everybody's doing. But thank you guys for being here and watching the challenge. Hit that like button if you haven't already. This is the 10K to $2 million funding challenge sponsored by Bespoke Funding Program. So I hope you'll take advantage of that discount code. And the more of you that use that, the better off this partnership will be, and the longer it will go. Let's see. All right. So it's a new week, and we have, let's do What should we do? Let's do the chat pair. We've got 40 people watching. That's a good number to vote now. Gold was the chat pair last week, and we didn't really get any setups on it. I called out a couple, but nothing really panned out. So I did not take any trades on gold. But since gold was the chat pair last week, we're going to need a new chat pair to watch for this week. So you guys drop in the pairs that you want to watch. We'll take the top 3 and we'll do a poll. We'll let you guys vote. So drop in your pairs over in the chat that you want to see, and if we'll take the 3 most popular that come up in the chat, and we'll build a poll. So I see CAD Swiss, I see dollar CAD, I see AU, Euro Yen, US30, dollar Swiss. There's no repeats yet. Pound CAD. There's one vote for several different ones. CAD Swiss. NAS, another Aussie dollar, another dollar CAD. So we've got two Aussie dollar, $2 CAD, 2 CAD Swiss. I think those are the only ones. Muhammad says pound New Zealand. S-Boy says pound New Zealand. Aussie dollar. Kenneth, you said CAD Swiss. Which one? Or Aussie dollar. Okay. CAD Swiss or Aussie dollar. Ken says Josh, my Forex funds, who runs their trading counter, gets most of the revenue from failed challenges. His response was, at the moment, we do not cover 100% of payouts from trading, but most likely towards October we will. Really, that's awesome. If they're actually covering 100% of payouts from trading, they will surpass that. That's a fantastic model. If that's truly happening, if these prop firms, and my Forex funds has been around for what, 3 years, 2 or 3 years now, and they're just now about to get to a spot where they can pay out their traders 100% from payouts instead of failed challenges. 3 years. So all of these new firms, if their little pool of traders that are taking challenges with them dries up, that's not good. Like that's the danger with the new firms, is they don't have enough data and enough traders from the revenue from the trading side to cover all of their profitable traders. That's the danger with new firms. Can they last? Like my Forex funds is 3 years, maybe longer. I don't know when my Forex fund starts, but I think they've been around about 3 years. They're just now getting to a place where they will be able to cover. That's crazy. Pound New Zealand, Aussie dollar. All right, so looks like Aussie dollar. Let me get over here to this chat here. We're going to do a poll. Vote on chat pair for the week. We will do AUD, USD. We will do, somebody said GBP, NZD. Shadow Trades, welcome in, man. We're about to vote for our chat pair here. And I think somebody said CADs. I think we had a couple of... We already do US30, so that's already on there. Simon. CAD Swiss, NAS, Pound New Zealand, Aussie, USD, Pound New Zealand, Aussie, Pound New Zealand, Aussie. I mean, do we do... There was a couple that said CAD Swiss, so we'll put that up. All right. There we go. There's your poll. Chat pair for the week. AUGN or CC. CAD Swiss. I don't think I've ever looked at a chart from CAD Swiss. Is it really that popular? Is that a great pair? I feel like the spreads on CAD Swiss would be astronomical. I feel like the spreads on GN would be astronomical too. I try to focus on low spread pairs, the majors mostly, but if y'all want to watch something, we'll let you vote. We got about 30 people watching or so, 35 people, so it's neck and neck. 14 votes, so come on, y'all. Get in there. Even if you don't like getting in the chat, at least vote. Help break the tie. We'll leave it up for a little bit. We'll see if we can get up to 30 votes. Once we get to 30 votes, we'll shut it down. Meanwhile, we can go do some analysis. Let's jump over to our charts and let's do some analysis, shall we? All right, here we are on, let me get back over to the dollar, DXY. So we've been in this, we had this big, huge impulse move down, and we've slowly been climbing back up. We put in a higher high, we put in a swing low, and now we put in a higher high last week. And here we are today. We had kind of identified this volume gap at the bottom and the inverted fair value gap above it. It's currently in a premium from this big down move. It's sitting just above that 50% line and just under the optimal trade entry. It did reach up last week and tap into that. And that was kind of, it did what we were kind of expecting. So you can see on the weekly time frame, we've pulled back up into this weekly breaker. And we've reached back up into the bottom of this order block here. So if price wants to continue bearish from here, it can, but it's grabbed all of this sell side liquidity under here. It basically filled in this monthly volume imbalance, left a little bit down there, but it's basically filled all that in. It's come back up into this weekly fair value gap right here. And you can see that it's respecting all this. So this is the end. If you look at the monthly, here's how the monthly candle is looking. So we had this big push up. We've come back down. We've accumulated. What does this look like? This looks like manipulation to me. Looks like grabbing liquidity. And we could see a stronger dollar from here. Not necessarily. If today we get a big closure down and this thing ends down below these wicks, that would be a massive drop off for the dollar out of nowhere on the last day of the month. I highly anticipate it's going to close bearish. I don't think it's going to come all the way back up here today, but it's going to close bearish. It's going to close with this big rejection wick. So, you know, as we get into August, does it just keep moving sideways until we get to September, October, November to start trending again? Hard to say, but I mean, I wouldn't necessarily expect much less. You do have some very clear relative equal highs up here above it. Again, this is a monthly, remember, this is a monthly candle. So these are huge moves. on the 4 hour or 1 hour. I mean, you got to think about how much space we have to cover here in 1 month. But you do need to take into account these higher time frames. So we've tapped into this PD array and we've kind of rejected off of it. We're pulling back up. The bodies are respecting this level right here. You can see the bodies of all these candles are closing right there. Close above, wick down, closed above. So that 101, 700 level is, those bodies have held strong on the monthly time frame right there at that level. So we'll see if it continues to do that. On the weekly, again, we've pulled back up. This will be an interesting week because it's the close of 1 month. It's the start of the next. You have NFP this week at the end of the week. So I think there's red folder news almost every single day. No news today. No red folder news today. But up to 26 votes. Looks like Aussie dollar has taken a fairly commanding lead there. Got a few more votes to get in there. There's 27. We'll let 3 more of you vote, but it looks like Aussie dollar could be our pair. Pair for the week. I like Aussie dollar, actually. Oh, I would be great with Aussie. AU. It's a good pair. So here on our daily again, let's just jump in here. Kind of in an uptrend. We're in a discount. I mean, we're in a premium level, so if we get a retrace, we do, but we're back inside the range. You can see this is our range, as far as this range goes, all of this is range. We dipped under and now we're trading back up inside of it. So there is a case to be made that you could see a pullback down into this upper fair value gap on this monthly time frame and then come back up. So it's called the box method. Basically you just, you look at your box. Once price trades through it and then back up into it, when price comes back down towards the bottom of that box level, that's where you look to enter to go long to head up to the top. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's a popular strategy for a lot of traders. That fake out. This is just a liquidity grab, stop hunt, and now that we're heading back up, you can see on the 4 hour we're definitely more in an uptrend. And just kind of consolidating right now. Again, it's the last day of the month, first day of the week. I say this every single week. I would not be on the charts trading on Mondays if I was not doing this live stream. I would not be here. I would be sleeping in, or I would be up. I would be doing something, but I wouldn't be looking to trade on Mondays. Mondays are my least profitable day, probably the least profitable day for most traders. So I want to see after Monday, what did it do? And then go from there. So typically we have a shorter stream on Mondays. It's usually just right at 2 hours, and then we just kind of wrap it up and get out of here. We will be doing another giveaway this week. Another 10K account giveaway. That's definitely coming. Probably Friday. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. But we'll see. All right. 29 votes are in. Let me get back over here. 66% choose Aussie dollar. That's what we're going with. The poll is closed. The chat pair for the week. Aussie dollar. Let's pull it up. Let's take a look. I'm excited. I like Aussie. Maybe Aussie dollar is exactly what we need. And immediately I see Sideways market on the daily time frame. Blech. Look at that chop, man. Grabbed some sell side, ran up, grabbed some buy side, came back down to the bottom of the box, came back up, couldn't make a new high, came back down, and now we're just stuck inside this dealing range right here. Blah. Yeah, that's not fun to look at. We also have a lot of red folder news this week. Aussie's got the interest rate decision tomorrow, and then balance of trade on Wednesday. US has job openings and ISM tomorrow. And then Thursday, more ISM. And then, of course, Friday's unemployment rates and non-farm payroll. All right, well, you can see we've had a break of structure. We are heading back up. Did it take out 67128? Didn't take out Friday's high yet. There's a nice little fair value gap right here on the daily time frame. So it's about to tap into that. If it hasn't already, I don't think it has. On the weekly, yeah, look, this is just not trending at all. So that's not a fun place to be. Maybe we should rethink our Aussie dollar. I'm just kidding. We're not going to rethink it. 4 hour, you can see we've had this big, huge displacement down. We're reaching back up in. So you have your 4 hour breaker here on Aussie dollar. This could actually be a nice little play. On the Aussie dollar right here. Potential high of the week scenario tomorrow or Wednesday. You could see something like this. You do have this nice fair value gap up in, this is a daily fair value gap right here. But this right here, let me go ahead and just, maybe I should just mark that up. This is a, so we don't get confused here. And then right there at 50%, right about 50% of your breaker, you have a nice little fair value gap right there. This could be a really nice setup. If I was looking at Aussie dollar potential swing trade there. Not bad, actually. We'll leave that up and just kind of monitor that. But that's kind of where I would be looking at currently. A potential nice little setup there. Wondering if you could find maybe something else a little bit further down. You could look at here or here on the 1 hour. It's nice. I'm kind of digging that. It's got to get through this daily fair value gap. So that's one thing to just watch. But it's obviously reaching up towards Friday's high. Or I'm sorry. I guess that's Thursday's high. change of character here on the 1 hour time frame, and not yet on the 4 hour. We would need to see a pullback and then a run up into here before it comes heading back down. Anyway, I'm going to leave that right there for now. But nice potential longer, higher time frame setup there on Aussie dollar. It's looking good. Looking good over there. Let me get back over here to the chat because I've missed quite a bit. I did figure out how to do the polls, Cisco. So sorry, I'm going to scroll back up because I want to make sure. See you, Shafa. You're probably already out of here, but thanks for stopping in. Lucas Bespoke banned my life funded account without a reason after I made 3%. Now they banned me from Discord. Can't recommend. Email, Twitter, and Discord. They don't reply. That's really weird, man. I have never heard. They just banned you. What country are you in? Lucas Wayne. Without a reason after I made 3%. Now they banned me from their Discord. Can't recommend. I'm trying to figure out why are you high frequency trading? Are you using hedge? Are you hedging? I'm just trying to figure out what could have been the reason. Like, do you have some crazy trading strategy? Were you I don't know. Were you causing a lot of crap on Twitter or Discord or something? I'm not sure. They're not just going to ban someone for not a valid reason, especially just over a 3% on an account. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Something else is going on there. Easy SMC for me, Eurodollar only. I just know how to milk that. Yep. First issue I've really seen from Bespoke contact support. That's not normal. Is there any refund for what you've paid or not even that? Nothing. AU should be a permanent pair. I'm maybe. AU is definitely on my higher time frame watch list, but I haven't looked at it in a couple weeks till just now. When you're a normal guy and not a bigger name on Twitter or social media, they will treat you like they want to because you can't do anything. You don't copy anyone's trades directly, or do you? Any latency trickery? I'm trying to think of any reason. I got the funded, got deal contract, made 3% with normal trades, no Martin or anything, got breached for terms and conditions without further explanation. Must have broke a rule somewhere, and if you said something on socials to hurt them, they will ban you. Terms and conditions agreement. If I broke something, they could at least tell me. Can you please explain proper way to scale from 10 to 100K? Should I directly get a 50K account after 10K or work my way up like 25? So for me, Muhammad, the way I'm doing it is for after I get funded and I get a payout, whatever the largest account I can buy with that payout is the one that I would buy. That's the way I'm doing it. So when we passed our 10K funded account, we also passed phase 1 of our next 10K challenge, which means we made 8%. So with that 8% on my funded account, I took that and I was able to buy a 100K challenge. So that's the way I'm growing this account from 10K to 2 million is I'll just keep buying the largest account I can once we get payouts rolling. Don't think it will, just sad since I can't do anything. I'm funded with my funded FX and FTMO, and that's okay. I just wish I could make this public and bigger. They're so new, it'd be insane to do something like that. Can you help this guy out, Lucas Wayne? I mean, DM me on Twitter, Lucas Wayne. I might be able to find out why you're not getting any response But I mean, something had to go down there. Maybe again, I don't know what you're in Germany, so that's weird. It's not like it's a banned country, but we'll see. Don't think it will just add. Oh yeah, you just said that. Check the trust pilot. They breach people and don't reply anymore. I mean, if I did something wrong, at least tell me, but don't just kick me out of Discord without anything. Yeah, I have never had any experience with Bespoke that that is your experience is the first that I have heard of and is completely out of character with most other experiences from people that I've heard of. So there's something going on there. They're not just going to randomly ban someone without any explanation. I'm not sure why they wouldn't even give you do you have the email that says you breached terms of or you breached your account or were you copy trading? Are you only trading your stuff? Like I'm just trying to figure. I'm just going through all of the things in my head that would make me think why they would just shut down your account when it's in profit. There's something else going on. I know we're just getting Lucas's side of the story, but there's something else. There's something else going on there. That just seems completely out of character for for them. Hey, John. Good morning. Yeah, I mean we can move it. I don't know where to put it. If I put it down here, it blocks. Like I don't know where to put these things. I mean, I guess I could put them just right up underneath one against each other. I don't know how that looks. I don't know. What do y'all think? I mean, I guess I could put right now. I could put one. I could put it down here and make it the code smaller. I'm just gonna have to move that up above that box, and I could make it just a little bit smaller like that, I guess. I don't know. Does that look any better? Oh, I don't want to do that. Nope, don't want to do that either. I can't click on the right one. There it is. Is that better? Jack, what's up, man? I haven't seen you. What's going on, brother? Took a loss on GU this morning. Let's go look at GU. See what's going on over there. Let's see if we can figure it out. We've been pulling back. We got into a premium. We bounced off the OTE area here on the daily time frame, and we started to push back up. Just kind of consolidating. We missed this GU trade on Friday. It just swerved us right here. It sucked. I hated that. But you can see it came right back down into that breaker and it's pulled back off. But I'm not going to use last week's breaker here. Let's see, Jack. I would think you were probably trying to go short here. You saw the grab of liquidity right here. You saw that London grab of liquidity. You saw displacement away. And you probably either entered off of this candle or this candle, and now you just got stopped out. I'm guessing that's what you did. So you either got short right here, or you got short right here somewhere. Either way, it's a stop loss on that GU trade. It grabbed buy side, it grabbed sell side. This is kind of a seek and destroy. This is why I don't really like Mondays. You get this chop on Mondays a lot of times. You don't get super clean moves. One reason why I try to avoid, but it's good to have you back in here, man. I was wondering where you've been. Muhammad just put the code on the video description. I have it as a pinned tweet. I don't know if I have it in the video description yet, but I guess I could. I guess I could take it off altogether. Is the Bespoke banner up here? Is it okay? Like that's you don't have to see. You're just missing. Basically, you're just missing like the NAS pair up there, the extra tabs. There's really nothing else up there in that corner you're missing. So, I mean, we could probably leave it down here for now. Maybe I'll take it off and just put it in the description. I do like having it on there, though. Cool. The lower candle. Wanted to see a move below into those gaps. All right. So we'll do a giveaway again this week on, like I said, I think probably Friday. It'll be at least one account. I'm not sure how many we'll do. Didn't take it. Divergence with EU. Yeah, EU. Let's jump over here to EU. EU also popping off the middle of that OTE in a deep discount here. Tapped into that fair value gap, that lower fair value gap, and it's pulling back up now. It reached all of our higher time frame draws on liquidity, filled in this weekly volume imbalance, and has pulled away. If the dollar is going to remain strong, then you would anticipate more downside, and these gaps right here could be what holds it down. Specifically, this 4-hour breaker right there. So you've got a nice 4-hour breaker block right here. This is the last down move before we come up. We run liquidity, and then we've broken through. You could use these consecutive down close candles. It lines up inside this breaker here, lines up inside the top part of this lower breaker. I would probably rather see price come up into this area, take out some buy side liquidity, tap into this sell side imbalance, and then if it's going to roll over, that's probably where it's going to be. But the daily and the weekly, you can see on the weekly here. Let me get up here. This was our weekly. We've tapped up into it. Now we're potentially we're in an uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So we are anticipating a swing low. If it's going to remain bullish, a swing low up in here somewhere, and it comes back. Could come down a little bit further to put in a swing low a little bit down further. We'll see. We'll have to see how this weekly candle closes, whether this is a confirmed swing low or not. So we'll know more at the end of this week, potentially where EU wants to go for August. But for now, you have this daily order block. It's tapped into it once on Friday. It's reached back up into it overnight with euro dollar. We do have this volume imbalance here on the gap up over the weekend. I don't see it on the lower time frames, but I still don't see it anywhere. I'm not sure why it's showing up on the daily like that. I mean, it's just maybe right here, just a small little gap down. Nothing big. Currently, though, what you're seeing is a kind of running liquidity here. You get this quick stab up. We're running buy side liquidity here. We're starting to roll back over inside of this range so far. Clear draw on liquidity underneath. You have sell side that hasn't been tapped into. These are really nice clean lines down here. So that could be your draw on liquidity for today. But that 4-hour breaker up here, be interesting to see if price can draw up into this buy side if it starts to roll over from there. But to get up there, you're going to need the dollar to find a little weakness to push the euro up before it could roll over. But could see something like that push up into there and then drop off. Right now, though, really not much happening. You would need to see displacement down below here, and you would need to see your draw on liquidities right here, a little bit under here as well. To displace under here, it's probably going to want to tap into that sell side liquidity, so it doesn't give you much room to work with. We'll watch and wait and see if that gives you any kind of setup. I'm not anticipating any kind of big moves today. Any decent setups. GU, similar, grabbed some buy-side liquidity now. You're going to need to see displacement, at least through this candle, probably more like through here, but dollar's just probably going to be, it's going to need to break, it's going to need to disrespect either this inverted fair value gap. This is a daily inverted fair value gap. And then this is just a daily volume imbalance. And you can see it's just kind of ping-ponging back and forth between these two levels right now. It's stabbed up above it and stabbed up below it, but it's just kind of consolidating between these two levels. So we're going to need to see some more information from the dollar outside of one of these levels before we kind of get a truer picture of what DXY wants to do. Code is good where it's at. We can leave it down there. It's a nice little blank space. It didn't have anything else going there, so we can leave it down there. It's fine. I'm good with that. We can check EJ. Sure. Let me pull up another. Definitely in an uptrend here. Bullish market. I mean, a very clear bullish market. I mean, it's just moving from the bottom left to the upper right. That's the definition of a trend. So you're very bullish on EJ. You've grabbed sell side liquidity here. Excuse me. You've grabbed sell side liquidity, quick stab, and now you're displacing higher. You would need to see it displace above. There's relative equal highs up here on EJ, so I would anticipate those get run. On the 4-hour time frame, you would want to see it displace through here, leave this breaker. This move up initiated this run down. We tapped into liquidity. We filled in these buy-side imbalances, and now we're moving higher. This candle on the daily would need, oh, this is on the daily here, daily time frame. So we've grabbed sell side liquidity on the daily, and we have quick reversed up. On the 4-hour, much more clear. You have, this is a beautiful little 4-hour breaker right here. This little candle right here, this up close candle, pushes up, and then it initiates this run that grabs all of this sell side liquidity under all of these old lows, reaching down and filling in these imbalances, all of these, rebalancing all of this. And since it's grabbed that liquidity, it has just shot up. So you have right here a very clear fair value gap. On the 4-hour time frame on this 4-hour breaker. So you could potentially see EJ pull back down into here and then come back up for these relative equal highs up here. So EJ's got a nice little relative equal high run up there. This could be where it wants to turn around. 1 hour. 1 hour time frame, we have made higher highs. We've had a change of structure here. We're making higher highs and higher lows. We've cleared through this. Currently, we've taken out some buy side. These are your relative equal highs up above. You're in a slight little retrace here. If you were going to look for some kind of move down, you would, this is your last swing level. There's going to be sell stops under that swing level. We're going to need to see how does price respect any of these. There's a fair value gap here, and there's another smaller one here. 30-minute time frame, you can see it's a little clearer. You've stabbed up above. You stabbed right into this volume imbalance over here. And price has fallen off of that volume imbalance. Reached back up into it, completely filled it in. The close of that candle was 252. The high of that candle was 234. So didn't quite completely get all the way back up to close that volume balance in, but it has done it. So it's reached back up into this buy side. Buy side liquidity, broken down below. This would be a counter trend trade. It's grabbed a buy side liquidity here. It's filled in that volume imbalance. It's traded away. The higher time frames are very bullish. So if you're a counter trend trader, if the move that you're anticipating is off of this breaker right here, I'm assuming when you're saying that there's a potential setup, this is what you're talking about. And there's obviously fair value gaps inside of there. I would want to target, if I was going to go short here, I would just target the middle, put my stop above, right there above that swing level, and then target 2.1. That's kind of the play, but you have to understand this is a counter trend trade. You're still bullish. You're bullish on the higher time frames. You're bullish on the lower time frames. You have had a little break of structure here. You did grab some liquidity and you've displaced lower. So you just have to decide if you like taking counter trend trades. I try to avoid them. I'm not completely opposed to them. I try not to take them. But it's not necessarily this is not necessarily a bad setup. It's not one that I would probably take. But you did get a run on liquidity here. This is inside of a volume imbalance over here to the left. So you've tapped into that volume imbalance. You've tapped into it also while taking out an old high, and you've displaced back through. You've left a fair value gap. You've identified your breakers. So it does get your TP underneath the sell side liquidity. So there's going to be stops under here. Which means it doesn't have to come all the way down to your TP, but it could. The nice thing is you have this 4-hour breaker as a draw on liquidity as well to the downside. that you would anticipate could be EJ's draw on liquidity short term to grab liquidity so that it can run out the equal highs that are back up in here. It's not like what it's not a horrible play. It's just counter trend. That's the one big red flag for me here is that it's just counter trend. It is going against the higher time frame price delivery. So you just have to decide if you feel like that's a good enough reason. This draw on liquidity on the 4H, is that a big enough reason to take a counter trend trade and try to run this back down on here and then look for a trade down here once it gets into this this point of interest on a higher time frame. So that's what I see on EJ. 2 pips away from hitting TP on the EU buy, and markets back at break even. Yeah, break evens, they're tough. I would rather, it's just hard. Break evens are hard. You just follow your plan. You know you're going to get break evens. It's part of the trading process. Drawdowns, part of the trading process. Taking losses, part of the drawdown process. Having break evens, part of the drawdown process. It can be frustrating, but it's a probabilities, man. It's all about probabilities. And you know, if you just keep executing your plan and you stick to your rules, if you have the data that says over the next 100 trades, you should be at X win rate, then just let those numbers play out. Just keep executing. One trade doesn't matter. What the outcome of today's trade has no impact on tomorrow's trade or next week's trades or next month's trades. Just keep executing. I know it's frustrating, but that's just how it goes. So fantastic analysis on EJ. Sure. You're welcome. I don't, that's just my analysis. You need to do your own analysis and see what you see and break it all down. So you just got to start on those higher time frames, get your higher time frame bias, identify your draw on liquidities, your draws on liquidity, and then, you know, you can start determining from there what your expectations are in the short term. So technical analysis is a very important skill. You obviously have to be able to understand where price is moving, where it's come from, and where it's most likely to go next. So to say that technical analysis is not important is a complete and utter lie. You have got to be able to do good technical analysis. You've got to be able to read price action. If you can't, it doesn't matter how good your psychology is. There is a technical skill to this. I know a lot of times I say that the biggest reason most traders fail is psychology. And I truly believe that, because most of the traders that I know of that are consistently failing, they're not failing because they don't understand how to read price. It's more about they're just not patient enough and self-disciplined enough to execute their strategy day in and day out, over and over and over again. That's the main reason traders are failing, in my opinion. But you do have to have technical analysis skills. No doubt about it. You have got to be able to read price action. You've got to be able to read it on a very basic level. Is it trending? Is it making higher highs and higher lows? Is it ranging? Where's the draw on liquidity? Are there equal highs and lows that you can identify? Are there fair value gaps that you can see? Is it pulled back into a premium or discount? Like, there's just some very basic technical analysis skills that everyone has to have. But once you have that, it's all about what's going on up in your head. It's all about what's going on in your head. John Lau Y. Welcome in, man. Curious what you're seeing on CAD. I feel like it's hitting a good zone to go long. Well, let's go take a look. I'll tell you what I see. Let's jump up to the weekly time frame here. Dollar CAD. We've had a change of structure here. We've been ranging. We've grabbed sell side liquidity. We have failed to break back up into that range. This bullish order block is holding price up. It has there's a small little weekly fair value gap right there that price has tapped into. It's closed below it a couple times, but it's basically held up. Change of structure here. We've displaced below this low. We've put in a swing high right here. So it's not really, technically we've made a lower low and a lower high. You obviously have a draw on liquidity underneath the second week of July, that low right there. Daily time frame, we've grabbed buy side liquidity aggressively, displaced through. We closed below, but immediately traded back up into the range. And now we've just moved sideways for a couple weeks. We've tapped into a little bit of buy side liquidity there, took out those highs, trading back lower. It's kind of choppy and sloppy in my opinion right now. Not a very clear weekly time frame. Is more bearish than anything, only because it's made lower lows and lower highs, and it's put in a swing level here on the daily. So 4 hour, just very choppy. It has grabbed some buy side liquidity. Could be reaching down here for sell side. It's just choppy. This is not high probability trading conditions currently in my mind. Like, I don't have a super clear direction from a higher time frame. So fairly neutral. Not that you can't take trades in neutral positions. When you're neutral bias, it's easier to find a pair that has a very clear bias and trade that. But higher time frame, obvious run on buy side liquidity, and we're displacing lower rapidly now on dollar CAD. Obvious draw on liquidity would be down here. These imbalances held price up so far, so it looks like they're just plowing through them right now. Yeah, I would not be just blindly going along here. I would need to see a reason to go long. There's no clear reason on the higher time frame to do that. If anything, it looks like the draw on liquidity could be down here under these relative equal lows and under here. It's ranging, so it's heading back towards the middle of the range. Yeah, I'm just not, there's no clear direction for me here. There's no clear breaker anywhere. Dollar CAD just looks messy to me. I don't see anything. Now, again, you need to do your own analysis. I just don't see anything here that gives me, number one, a higher time frame bias, and number two, on the lower time frames, it's just sloppy. There's just no clean runs. Was a little bit of a run here on buy side, and then it displaced, and then it reached right back up into this breaker right here. But since then, we've had no more runs on liquidity here. So if you're bullish, you're going to need to see liquidity get run here, and then you're going to need displacement away and a change of structure before you would want to try to get long here. But definitely not an area where you're just going to randomly buy. Don't do that. Alpha, is this new Twitter logo is mediocre AF, so weird. Feels like a first job of a junior designer. I don't know how I feel about the X logo. I mean, it's okay. I don't really care about the Twitter logo. Oh, I mean, it's just an app that I use, and whatever logo they want to put on it, I don't care. I'm not that invested in it. The bird was around for so long, everybody just kind of always was like, oh, it's always going to be a bird. It makes sense when you're talking about tweets that it would be a bird, but you know what? If I spent $44 billion on something, I would want to know that I have the right to put whatever hell logo I want to put on it. So more power to Elon to hell, he can change it every week. I don't care. Good morning, Moby Dick. Welcome in. You have a setup on EU? Nah. There's no setup on EU. It's just ranging. It's not really doing much. No setups. It's grabbed a buy side. I mean, if you're talking about this little breaker here, maybe. But I would not. I would think price wants to reach up into this 4-hour breaker. So I'm more bullish before I'm going to be bearish on EU. So we've come off of these lows. We've come off of this OTE. We've come off of being in a discount. We're making higher highs. This is just a consolidation. This is just your Monday range here, your typical Monday range. Friday's high hasn't been taken out. I would think Friday's high is the most logical draw on liquidity first. You do have these relative equal lows down here that will probably get tapped, but that could be later this week. So I'm not trying to get long or short on anything right now. If anything, I'm expecting. I mean, you could see the dollar pull back here off of this high, grab this liquidity. It could displace down through here and reach back down into some of these areas. Again, seeing it come back down into the top of this monthly fair value gap here, and then it comes back up. That wouldn't surprise me at all. GJ pushing hard up, though. Peter EU had a 15-minute OTE entry. Just off of the swing level here. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I mean, it did take out these levels here. I would just be cautious trying to go short on EU right now. I mean, it could work out, but I just don't. I'm not a huge fan. This run on liquidity, all of this liquidity that got ran, it started down here on these two candles. So this is the displacement I would want to see price move through. I mean, it could work out. You may be short there already, and that's cool. Oh, goodness. Not for me, though. Not for me. Are you in a paid group or paying for mentorship? I'm not. I am not in a paid group. I have spent all the money I'm going to spend on paid groups. Not that they're bad. I just don't. I know what my system is now. I know what my strategies are. If I want a new strategy, or if I want just, I mean, I know how to do that for myself now, I guess. So I don't necessarily need. Now there's people I follow on Twitter, there's people I keep up with, there's people that I watch their YouTube videos on, but it's not like paid. It's not a paid mentorship at all. I always try to like to stay up with what other people are doing, what other people are seeing, analyze other people's trades, that kind of stuff. But I'm not in a paid mentorship right now. Not to say that I won't ever be back in one, but right now I'm not. I haven't been in one in quite a while, over a year. They just, and the biggest thing for me was, it's like, if you're going to be doing paid mentorships, I just wasn't getting mentored, I guess is the best way to say that. It was access to a community or a course or a video of strategies. And what I realized was is all of those videos are for free online. There's no unique strategy out there that isn't already online for free that you can't find. The only thing, what you're paying for mostly in a lot of these quote unquote mentorships, is you're just paying for a private community, which there is a lot of validity to having a private community. I'm all for having a private community. I really am. I think they're fantastic. Having guys that are all working on the same strategy, off the same concepts, with the same trading rules, using the same analysis, it can really help. It really can. It's kind of what we're doing here. And so what I realized is I was just paying for friendship with a bunch of other traders who were trying to do what I was doing. The mentor was leaving comments in Discord or Telegram, which I've been in both, leaving screenshots. Every now and then would put up a video of like a trade review or market analysis. Might call out when he's in a trade, usually did not. Hardly ever just did live trading sessions, if at all. I see guys tweeting out, like, I think I'm going to do one public live stream this week. And I'm like, why can't you just do it every day? I don't understand that. If you really want to help people, if you really want to teach people, why are you not just showing them how you trade? That's what a mentor does. So it's here's how, to me, mentorship should work. So mentors don't go looking for people to mentor. Mentors are just existing. They're just doing their thing. And then someone approaches the mentor and says, I want to be like you. Would you mentor me? That's how a mentor relationship starts. The mentor doesn't go seek anybody out. The student comes and finds the teacher and says, please teach me. Now the teacher can decide if they want to give of themselves and their time and their energy. And is this student worthy? Do they have the makeup to actually go through the process that the mentor is going to lay out for them? Once that happens, let's say the mentor's like, okay, cool, student, you want to learn from me? All right, here's what you do. Here's how this is going to work. First, you're just going to watch what I do, and I'm going to tell you and walk you through and talk you through what I do. Then we're going to do it together. I'm going to sit and I'm going to I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to watch you and I'm going to coach you while you do it. Then I'm not going to do it anymore and I'm just going to watch, and then you're just going to go do it on your own. It's the stages of coaching. It's the stages of mentorship. There's the student coming to the mentor, asking to be mentored, the mentor deciding to take them on. Then it's the mentor showing them step by step, just watch. Don't do anything, just watch me. I'm going to explain step by step everything that I'm doing. And that could be a long season of time. And then it's, okay, now, student, you're going to do this with me while I do it. So I'm going to keep doing it. You're going to do it alongside of me while I'm doing it. Then it moves to, okay, student, I'm just going to watch you. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to watch you do this. And then you're released on your own. You don't need to be mentored anymore. So all of these, the mentorships that are out there right now, most of them are just, all they're doing is they're laying out some video instruction, some basic strategy, and they're setting up a community of place where people can hang out. And that's about it. They're not actually spending a ton of time where students can actually watch what the mentor is doing over and over and over and over again. That's why I started this stream, is because I got tired of just sitting around and going from mentor to mentor, and I could never watch them. I could listen to them talk hindsight. I could listen to them in some voicemail memo. They might put out their weekly bias or their weekly analysis, their preview, but very, very rarely could I just sit and watch them. And that's really the most important part of the process, I think, for students to learn, is watching. So that's why we did all this. Oh, you changed your name. It was S-Boy. Okay, John, I got you. I'm cool with that. My thought is on the weekly. It's really only Wix breaking it. The daily and 4 hour holding that price and not really breaking under. It could be on the dollar CAD. It could be the you definitely, it's wicked up, it's wicked down. I don't know. I just wouldn't want to just take a long here for any specific reason. Now that we've failed to make a higher high here, we've broken back into the structure, we've grabbed sell side liquidity. It tried to break up back into this range, but it failed, and it's since pushed back down. So on the weekly, you've had a change of structure, and it's filled back in and it's pushed back down. So I know these wicks down here are like, oh, it's holding up off of here, but I would want to see more information develop. I want to see a candle close above these highs, like back into the range or below this range. Let me know where it wants to go, and then look for opportunities. That's kind of how I feel. It just looks sloppy to me right now, though. Yeah, just ranging. This is Monday. I mean, this is why I don't trade Mondays. If I was not streaming, I wouldn't be on the charts. Don't get in and just rush in and think, oh, it's Monday, the market's open, let's go make money. Mondays are just tough, and very rarely do they just give you good moves. And not only that, it's the last day of the month. So it's kind of a double whammy. It's the last day of the month and it's Monday. GJ, though, nice grab of liquidity here on GJ and popped back up. Nice little breaker block right here on GJ. Very similar to EJ. You have GJ, you've got that nice little 4 hour breaker, obvious fair value gap inside of there. Could be a nice little target. Very clear relative equal highs up here that it could be pushing towards. So we'll have to watch and wait. GJ there, but it's a pretty nice little 4-hour breaker block there set up. So kind of similar to EJ as well, in that you had a run of buy side liquidity here displaced through. It's not as clean of displacement as you see on EJ right here, but on GJ there's just not the nice clean displacement with a fair value gap anywhere in there. No fair value gaps there. 10-minute, not really anything on there either. So not as clean as EJ on this short setup. If you wanted to take GJ short and come back down into this 4-hour breaker, not as clean as EJ. And you're currently bullish on GJ with this breaker structure right here. All of this sell side liquidity has been grabbed, change of character, displaced above. This is where I would be looking to potentially get long and to run out this buy side liquidity up here. Kind of how I see GJ. US30 gapped up over the weekend, so it's already filled in. It's come back down and filled in that gap. Just ranging, just like everything else. Basically just this slow crawl up since midnight. But there's your new week, new day, new week opening gap right there. Wouldn't be surprised if the price comes back down into that as the market's open, just to kind of reprice a little bit there. But you're still inside this big dealing range currently, so all of this is just trash. Coming up into that daily fair value gap here on AU. Let's see, was there any opportunity? Not really. Reaching up into these imbalances here. Reaching up into this buy side liquidity. Very large 30-minute imbalance there. Excuse me. I'm probably going to stay on for about 10 more minutes, guys, and then we'll call it a stream here today. Again, Mondays are just typically shorter. There's just not a whole lot to look at. Just a lot of ranging. EJ might come into play here, but if, again, the same reasons I wouldn't want to go short here, I don't know that I necessarily wouldn't want to go just take a long either, but dollar's right back inside its opening gap as well here, so just not expecting a ton of stuff. I will be interested to see how this EJ setup plays out. If it taps into this breaker to roll over and head back down here, not sure. Super bullish right now, so I would just be cautious on those counter trend trades. Not a fan of counter trend trades. Owen says my EU weekly bias is bearish, so slightly bullish today and maybe tomorrow. Not trading the rest of the week. Too much red folder news. Yeah, kind of the same for me, Owen. This 4-hour breaker, I could see today maybe a high of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it could roll over from there potentially. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. Higher time frames on the weekly, you're still bullish. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see a little. We just need a little bit more delivery from the market to see exactly what we want. But I could see EU playing out like this, running up into this breaker here, grabbing buy side liquidity, rebalancing some of this sell side inefficiency, and then rolling over from there. Alpha, mentorships or some kind of OnlyFans in the trading verse a little bit. John, I feel like real mini shorts like Venator described are few and far between. They are not. There's not very many of them. There's not a whole lot of them. Crazy how patient you are. I keep hearing people say that. I'm getting comments, Deadpool, in my DMs just about people are passing and they're like, "You really inspired me by just sitting there not doing anything," and I don't know how to take that. At first, I'm like, I think I know what you're saying, but it kind of sounds really bad. Hey man, just wanted to let you know I passed phase 2 and I couldn't have done it without sitting there watching you not doing anything, not taking any trades. The only mentor who doesn't trade is kind of that's the way I know I actually do trade, but when I get comments like that, it just makes me laugh because it makes me sound like all I do is just sit here and talk and do nothing. And I know a lot of that is what's actually happening. But it's just funny to hear people say, "Man, so inspiring sitting here watching you do nothing." I didn't know doing nothing would be so motivational, but I guess a lot of you are finding it helpful. So happy to do it. Yeah, that I think. Oh, and that. Well, no, you weren't the only one. I've gotten like three or four. I've gotten like three or four, Owen, of people like, "Man, I finally passed my first challenge, or I finally just got a payout, my first payout, and I couldn't have done it without watching you do nothing." Oh, it sounds so bad. But I get it. I mean, I get it. You have to be patient. You have to sit here and not do anything so much. I'll tell my wife, I'm trying to inspire people by sitting here doing nothing. That's the way to do it. You make profits, you make more by doing less. The less you do, the more money you make. Isn't that the craziest thing when it comes to trading? It's the craziest thing. The more you do, the less you make. The less you do, the more often you're more profitable. So up 2% on funded. Way to go, Owen. Way to go. Way to not do anything and be up 2%. This is the land of do nothing. Top dollar, hey Vin, big up for good work. What's your lot size per 10K count? It just depends on whatever my stop loss is, but most of them are between 1 and 2 lots typically, but it's all dependent on my stop loss. Whatever the stop loss is, I risk 2%. So that's what I do, top dollar. I don't recommend everybody risk 2%, but that's what I'm comfortable with because I know my data and I know my stats. So I'm very comfortable with that. I hope you guys did not get short there on that EU trap. I hope you guys did not do that. Muhammad, we are not used to sitting and being okay. We get frustrated and revenge trade, but seeing you makes us be okay with missing trades and taking less trades. Made me more profitable. That's the goal. You don't have to push buttons every day. You don't need to just take a trade just because you're taking a trade. Just taking a trade, you're probably not going to be profitable. Peter, I've learned a lot of being patient from you today. I've only taken one trade. Previously, I could be on trade 50. I was there, Peter. I used to do that as well, man. I used to take 5, 6, 7, 8 trades a day. And I'd blow an account or two a day, a challenge or two a day. There have been multiple days where I've lost multiple challenges in one day. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about that. Absolutely insane how I used to operate. Brad, you're so patient, and that's not a compliment. I get it. It's not a compliment. Oh. I have probably had to exercise more patience in July than any other time recently. It has been a brutal month, man. So much sitting and waiting. We got swerved a couple times on good setups that didn't pan out. The ones that did get triggered obviously did not pan out. So it's been a frustrating month. To tell you that I haven't felt frustrated would be a lie. I just know how to deal with my frustration now. I know that it's temporary, and any attempt on my part to do something to fix my frustration is just going to completely sabotage the plan. And so I'm more committed to the plan than I am committed to. I know my frustration will go away if I just stick to my plan. And now I have the self-discipline to understand frustration is temporary. Frustration is temporary. My emotions are fickle, and they're going to change moment by moment depending on what's happening. And so I can't trust them to tell me and lead me to make the right decision. So how do you deal with 6% drawdown? Same way I would if I was 6% in profit. I just trade. I just wait for my A+ setups and I trade. I'm not in any rush to get out of drawdown. There's no time limits on this funded account. There's no time limits on these challenges. I'm just going to wait for my setups to appear, and then I'm going to execute when they do. And my trading, my risk reward ratio, and the edge that I have with my win rate, it will do the job for me. So I'm in no rush to get out of drawdown. Absolutely no rush. I would trade the same if I was 6% in profit as I would if I'm 6% in drawdown. I don't do anything differently. You can go back and watch my playlists since we started this challenge. I don't trade any differently today than I did when we made 21% in 7 weeks. I don't do anything differently. I am the same trader right now, 6% in drawdown, as I was when I was on a winning streak and we passed phase 1, phase 2, got funded, passed another phase 1. Same trader, same style, same execution. Nothing has changed. Not one thing. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call the stream here. It's just a blah Monday morning. This is my commitment to you is to be here every single day. And I hope that you've seen that doing nothing can be better than doing something. That's my hope every day we come in here. But thank you guys for being here. Hit that like button before you get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. If for some crazy reason the market decides to give a beautiful setup in the next 2 hours or so, follow me on Twitter. I will post out any positions I take over there when we're off the stream. So follow me on Twitter. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you to Bespoke Funding for sponsoring our stream today. You guys take advantage of that 15% discount and 85% profit split. Use that disc code Venator at checkout, and you'll be good to go. So hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, and we will catch you tomorrow. Adios.